Good morning, Britain. Live from Westminster, where MPs get sworn in this week and the new cabinet has already got down to work. The Prime Minister pledges swift action on prisons, including the controversial early release of prisoners.
Chancellor Reid will rip up the planning rulebook, which will see 1.5 million homes built over the next 5 years, including much of it on Greenbelt land.
The Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, meets the British Dental Association to, as he put it, rescue NHS dentistry, a huge ask, with 700,000 urgent appointments waiting to be filled.
And we'll be live in Paris as France rejects the far right after a surprise election result last night.
And Lewis Hamilton had to wait for it, but finally, a moment of redemption, winning the British Grand Prix for a record 9th time.
And the rain made for a very interesting race and an interesting weekend for many of us. The outlook for this week, yes, more rain, staying unsettled. I'll have all the details of that and more coming up on Good Morning Britain.
Monday, 8th of July, 2024. Live from ITV, this is Good Morning Britain with Susanna Reid and Ed Balls at Westminster.
Good morning, Britain. Welcome to Westminster. Does it bring back all sorts of memories, Ed?
It does.
MP is going to be sworn in tomorrow, I think.
Well, the first memory it brings back for me is 2 years ago, standing here with you on this green, the day Boris Johnson resigned as Prime Minister. 2 years ago, it feels like quite a long time ago. A lot of change in the last 2 years, but a lot of change in the last few days. And as you say, for these members of Parliament, newly elected members of Parliament, their lives have suddenly been turned upside down. Quite a few of them weren't even expecting to be elected at all. They had jobs, they had kind of places to go, families, homes, and suddenly they're going to have a new place to live during the week. I remember I was first elected in 2005, so 19 years ago. And at my count on election night, I was given a letter by the returning officer. And he said, arrive on Tuesday and bring a copy of your election manifesto. And I did, but I thought, why am I doing that? And I arrived just over there at the gates, police officers there, and I walked up and I said, I'm Ed Balls, the new MP for Normanton. And the police officer said, did you bring your election manifesto?
No.
And I handed it over
Was that
to
your
him,
ID?
And he looked at it and he went, yes, it's you. That was my ID, because of course there was no pass. So he checked my manifesto. I looked like the guy on the front of this thing which had gone to tens of thousands of people. I was in, and then got my coat peg.
Well, this week, Sir Keir Starmer and Labour will hit the ground running. They've already done that, of course, over the weekend following their election victory.
And we'll be running the rule over their first days in power with Andrew Pearce and Kevin Maguire, of course, but also with Labour veteran Harriet Harman, former Tory Chancellor Kwasi Kwarteng. We'll be discussing the challenges facing the new government and the Conservatives now that they're in opposition for the first time in 14 years. Also, the challenge of being a new MP arriving at Westminster.
Absolutely. And after years of holding Conservative ministers to account, Labour's newly appointed Chief Secretary to the Treasury, Darren Jones, MP, becomes the first Labour minister to join us.